Hi friends, this is the math lesson for second grade. This is Unit 7, Lesson 3, Part 1. We are going to practice solving some word problems today. And unlike the word problems we've been working on in Unit 6, these word problems are a lot more simple in the fact that they have smaller numbers. You might have to use some comparison bars. You might have to do some adding, solve some unknown starts, but the numbers are going to be smaller. Okay, so we are going to work on these together. We are actually going to complete 12 word problems today. Okay, so all we have to do is solve. It says we don't have to draw a picture. We just need to do some sort of equation. But as always, a picture, if it's helpful for you, then please do it. Let's get started. We are on page 315. Number 1, Carl draws a line segment that is 18 centimeters long. Then he makes it 14 centimeters longer. How long is the line segment now? So you might have noticed that we are dealing with what we call length. So centimeters is a way that you measure. And our word right here, instead of saying label, like it normally does, says unit. So we have all different types of measurement that we're going to be using, and those are called units of measurement. So our label is going to be centimeters, and while it says unit down here, it's really just a similar thing. So it's called a unit of measurement, so that's why it says unit right here. Now let's get back to our equation. So I know that Carl is drawing a line segment. It is 18 centimeters long, and then he makes it 14 centimeters longer. So he's adding on to it. Now I wrote my equation side to side, but I can't solve it this way. So I'm actually going to just write my 14 underneath here, and now it is ready for me to solve. We have 8 plus 4, which is 12, and a new group, and then 1 plus 1 plus 1, which equals 3. So his line segment is 32 centimeters. All right, the next one says Samantha runs 45 meters, stops, and then she runs some more. She runs a total of 95 meters. How many meters does she run after her stop? So again, we are dealing with the unit of measurement called meters. I'm just going to write that down here. Here's my how many. Next word is meters. And so it says that she runs 45, she stops and runs some more. So I know that if I write my equation as I read it, we have 45, she runs some more, and she runs a total of 95, right? So this is already set up perfectly for the adding up method, but I know a lot of you don't prefer that. So since we're missing a partner, you can also solve it by subtracting. So take a minute and solve that. And when you do 5 minus 5, you get 0, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So she ran 50 meters after she stopped. All right, let's move on to number 3. A ribbon is 48 inches long. Taylor uses 32 inches of it to make a bow. How much ribbon is left? So if we write this equation as we read it, we are starting with 48. We know she uses 32, right? So we're subtracting 32, and we're trying to figure out how much does she have left. Now, again, I like to write them horizontal because it just helps me figure out what I need to do to solve. But I know that I need to write it up and down vertically to actually solve it. So 48 minus 32, go ahead and solve that. All right, we have 8 minus 2 is 6, and 4 minus 3, which is 1, and we get 16 inches. All right, number 4. Number 4 says, Mr. Parker cut 9 feet from the end of the pole. The pole is now 22 feet long. How long was the pole before Mr. Parker cut it? So I see this word before, and that tells me that I'm missing that start, right? I have that unknown start. So I know that he is starting with a pole. He cuts 9 feet of it off, and now it's 22 feet. And I want to know, how much was it before he cut it? Well, this is one of those unknown starts that we cannot solve when it looks this way. So I'm actually going to turn it into an addition problem. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to write it vertically so I'm ready to solve. So we are going to add 22 plus 9. When you add 22 plus 9, we have 2 plus 9, which is 11, and a new group. And then we have 1 plus 2, which is 3. So we are left with 31 feet at the beginning. All right, we're doing great so far. If you feel like you are ready to do the next 8 on your own, please go ahead. Like I said, we will be doing the back side of that page, and we'll be going to number 12 right here. If you choose to do them on your own, go ahead and pause the video, and then when you are ready, go to the very end, and I will show you both sides of the papers for you to check your answers. If you're sticking with me, let's keep on moving. A race course is 99 meters long. There are trees along 38 meters of the course. How long is part of the course without trees? So for this one, we know that there's a race course, right? And we know that part of it has trees and part of it doesn't. So that kind of tells us that we will be looking for a partner, because we know that 99 is the total length of the course, and that 38 of the meters of the course has trees, and we're trying to figure out how many does not have trees. So this one, it's kind of hard to write in as we read it. So you can just actually go straight into writing 99 minus 38. So take a minute and solve that for me. 9 minus 8 is 1, and 9 minus 3 is 6. So we get an answer of 61. And our label here, how long? Well, that's not a label. We know that our unit of measurement is meters. That's what we've been dealing with. So 61 meters. All right, number 6. And again, at any time, you can go off on your own to try these out if you are feeling ready. Michelle paints a fence that is 81 feet long. Huck paints a fence that is 56 feet long. How much longer is the fence that Michelle paints? Well, this one sounds a lot different than the ones we've been doing. We have 2 people, and they're both doing something. Now, usually we say if there's 2 people and they both have something and the word more or fewer, then we know it's comparison bars. But since we're dealing with length, this word right here is kind of like more or fewer. It's like how much longer, so kind of like a more. So let's go ahead and get our comparison bars ready. We have Michelle and we have Huck. So Michelle, it says Michelle paints a fence that's 81 feet. Huck paints a fence that's 56. So Michelle paints a longer fence and Huck paints a shorter fence. So Michelle goes on top. We know that hers is 81 feet, so I'm going to put my 81 in her box. And Huck's is 56 feet. And I'm trying to figure out the change. How much longer did Michelle paint? How much longer was her fence? So with that being said, that means that we are missing a partner, okay? So we're going to do 81 minus 56. And I need to actually ungroup on this one. But when I ungroup, I get an answer of 25. Now for our unit, you can write feet, or you can write 25 feet longer. Sounds kind of weird, but either way will work. All right, number 7. Oshanti has a necklace that is 24 centimeters long. She makes the necklace 36 centimeters longer. How long is the necklace now? So this is going back to one that was similar to number 1 on the other side. So we know that her necklace is 24 centimeters, and then she makes it 36 centimeters longer, and it wants to know what is the total. Okay, how long is the necklace now? So we can't solve it when it looks like this. I'm going to write it vertically and go ahead and take a minute and solve that. All right, when we add 4 plus 6, we get 10, and then a new group, 1 plus 2 plus 3, which gives us 6. So her necklace is now 60 centimeters long. All right, and last question on this page. We have a giant flag is 6 meters long. Vern adds 4 meters to its length. How long is the flag now? We are dealing with some small numbers here, my friends. So we have, if it's 6 meters and then 4 gets added to it, you're right, we're just adding 4. Boys and girls, what is 6 plus 4? Do we even need to write it up and down? Not for a fact like this. You should have it memorized. We get an answer of 10 meters. You do still need to show some sort of equation because it does say show your work at the top. So, or you can do a picture. That would be a-okay with me. All right. Now, we are moving on to the last few problems. Again, if you want to try these on your own, I suggest you do. If you want to stay with me, I'm actually just going to read you the problems and then I'm going to have you solve them on your own. Okay? So here we go. Number 9, Kelly has a piece of red yarn that is 25 centimeters long. She also has a piece of blue yarn that is 11 centimeters long. How much longer is the red than the blue? So this is similar to that one that we did with the comparison bars. So you will need to draw comparison bars, and I will help you get those set up because they are kind of different than normal. We have blue yarn and red yarn. So we know the red yarn is 25, the blue yarn is 11. So red yarn, blue yarn. Now you should be able to fill in your comparison bars and then solve. Please pause the video. All right, so we have 25 up here, 11 right here, trying to figure out what is the change. So 25 minus 11 gives us 14. So 14 in our label is centimeters. All right, number 10. Paco swims 41 meters. Kenny swims 4 meters less than Paco. How far does Peter swim? Or Kenny swim? So for this one, we are going to do comparison bars again because we have two people and they're both swimming. And we're trying to figure out how far one of these people swims compared to the other. So we know Paco and Kenny. Kenny swims 4 meters less. So Kenny is going to go on the bottom and Paco is going to go on the top. This right here goes in your oval because of this word right there. So less is kind of similar to fewer. So now I would like you to fill in the rest of your comparison bars and then solve the problem. Please pause the video. All right, so we know that Paco swam 41. We're trying to figure out how many did Kenny swim. So we have another missing partner. We're going to do 41 minus 4. You do need to do some ungrouping, and we get 37. And our label is meters. All right, number 11. 2 more to go. Leonard walks 28 meters. Then he walks 56 more meters. How many meters does he walk in all? So for our in all, that tells us that we need to add. So go ahead and do that and pause the video. When you add 28 and 56, you get an answer of 84. So he walked 84 meters. All right, last problem, friends. A tree is 72 inches tall now. It is 12 inches taller than it was last year. How tall was the tree last year? So this is another good example of comparison bars, even though these sound a little different. So I'm using that comparative of taller, just like I was longer. So this is what is the change. So in order to label these comparison bars, I think we know it was shorter last year, so I'm going to put last year like that, and then this year like that. So I know that this year it's 72 inches, and I know that this year it's 12 inches taller than last year. So I'm trying to figure out what is that height from last year. So go ahead and pause the video and find that missing partner. All right, so we have 72 minus 12, and we get an answer of 60. And our label is inches. All right, friends, great job. If you have any questions, we can go over them during small groups. Here are the answers for those of you that did it on your own. So number 9, 14 centimeters. Number 10, 37 centimeters. Number 11, 84 centimeters. Number 12, 60 inches. And on the other page, number 5, 61 meters. Number 6, 25 feet longer. If you didn't put longer, that's okay. Number 7, 60 centimeters. And number 8, 10 meters. Great job, friends. We will finish this lesson tomorrow.